Yo, y'all know what it is, man. Yeah, I mean, life in the pen, hashtag prison talk, hashtag in and out. Y'all know we do the interviews, man. You know, I come with the interviews, and I know y'all be wanting me to drop them all the time, but I got to make sure I get the right people around, you know what I mean, that don't mind giving up their stories. And right now, we got my family. I'm going to go ahead and let him introduce himself, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share, and man, let's get this thing started. Cousin, go ahead.
Scotty B. I did, I want to say 21, 22 years in the prison system. And I'm just here supporting. Just want to get my little feedback on some of my experiences that I went through in the system.
Okay, all right, all right. Um, you said you had 21 years. You might dropping down like the charges, like the times, how much time you did through each bid.
Well, my first bid, I was young. I was like, um, once I was 17, and I got accused of shooting two people. And being that I was young at the time, they basically, youthful offender status and all of that. Basically, youthful offender status is they give you that when you're a minor, and they try to help you out where you don't do a substantial amount of prison time. So instead of charging me with a major crime like assault, they broke it down to a reckless endangerment, which is a non-violent felony offense. And they was trying to send me to shot camp so I could get home early. But once I got in the system, they sentenced me to 2 to 6 years. And once I got in the system, it didn't work out how I planned it. I ended up doing the full 2 years.
Okay, all right, all right. And as far as your second bid,
Okay, so my second bid, basically, got caught with some guns. And being that now I'm a second time felony offender, they wasn't trying to be too lenient on the sentencing. So they gave me 8 years. And basically after 8 years I had to do 6 years, 10 months.
okay, 6 years, 10 months. Yeah, after eight, sounds right. What about the last bid now?
Last bit, with that, basically being a young knucklehead running around streets of Buffalo, no guidance. I could have had guidance, but I didn't really care at the time. I just was riding around with my homies, thinking we was cool, um, not really thinking about the repercussions of our actions. And I did something that landed me in the jail in the prison system for 11 years.
What was the sentence they had gave you off that?
The sentence was 13 years.
What was the charges?
The charges was a burglary.
A burglary.
Yep. So I did 11 years and 2 months.
Okay, so you got out of your three, you got three bids in. You got 21 years in. So basically, we just gonna talk about, you know what I mean. Out of all that time you done did, um, when you first came to prison, what was like? What was your thoughts when you first came to prison? What was something that you? What was your thoughts when you first came to prison? And what did you see that made you be like, yo, I'm really here? Like, what is like, wow?
Well, for me, being that the first time I came into the system, I was an adolescent. It was like, whoa, because you hear stories, but a lot of that is fictional. So when you literally get put in that situation and you see the prison guards, you see the cells, you see the food, you see the prison uniform. Now you like, oh shit, this is real. So for me, I mean the county jail, it was rough, but the realization hit when I got to Elmira Correctional Facility.
Okay,
When I first walked on the tier, people yelling, screaming, it's dirty. Uh, and when I landed in the L at this time, you was getting transferred at night. So I got to the L probably like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. I'm talking about I seen toilet papers on fire being thrown. Dudes was throwing water out their cell. People yelling and screaming. mice, not rats, mice running around, and I'm just looking around like this is not what I'm about to go through right now. And I mean, yo, it was a real, it was traumatic, especially being 18 at the time.
All right, so you was young, you was 18. After Elmira, where did they send you to? Do you remember?
Okay, so after Elmira, being at, like I said, I was charged with a non-violent, so they sent me to Lakeview Shot Camp. So when I got to Lakeview Shot Camp, it it was more of a dorm setting where you like 60-man double bunks type of structure, and it was clean. The COs was kind of rough, but it wasn't.
How was they rough?
Well, basically, Lakeview shot the officer. The correctional officers is former drill sergeants, so their whole format is to whip you in shape as far as your physical and your mental. So, like, when you coming from the streets, they smacking you, spitting in your
You
face.
seen them do that?
I seen them do that. Your mother's a whore. I actually seen. Well, I didn't see it personally, but a guy that I met, he went into the shot camp and he died in there.
Why did he die? What happened?
Well, he young knucklehead. We running around thinking that we can't be touched. So he went to the special housing unit to shoot, and still had that real rebellious attitude, and the police beat him up real bad, and he died in there.
Now, during the time of shot camp, have the police ever came up on you and did something that you felt that was just disrespectful and you had to hold it together? Or just be like, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to get through this.
No, well, not for me. I mean, to a lot of my peers that I was with, because to me, I was a listener. Because my whole thing was, shit, I'm going back to the streets, man. Whatever they say do, I'm doing. Like my mom was real distraught, and I knew I hurt her so bad. So my whole mind frame was, man, I'm trying to get back to the street. And then I had my high school sweetheart at the time. So I'm just thinking about her and my mom, and I'm just trying to get back home. I'm like, man, whatever they say do, I'm doing. I'm not doing nothing to get me in no extra trouble.
Okay. All right. So you did the whole shock and you got out of that situation.
Well, actually, no, they never let me take shot. So once it came to me starting the weeks, they said, "Oh, you have a gun involved in your crime. You can't do it." So mind you, I went to one of the harshest adolescent prisons back in the early '90s, which was Green Correctional Facility.
And what was the experience like there?
Hell,
Tell me about it.
if you at this time, I arrived in Green in 1995. If you was from Buffalo, if you was from upstate New York, if you were not from the five boroughs, you literally had to fight to survive. I mean, no joking, no bullshitting. I fought every day, just to hold my own, to let people know I wasn't going for it.
What was one of the memorable fights that you was like, damn, I can't believe I put myself in this situation.
So I'm in the dorm. So I meet a couple cats from Brooklyn, a couple cats from Harlem. So I got my pictures, so I'm showing them Buffalo. So now they looking at Buffalo, thinking like, damn, Buffalo look like Queens, Long Island. So I'm telling them stories. So they want to crack jokes. Oh, y'all got coyotes in your backyard. You live on a farm. So I'm like, yo, fam, listen,
Good.
it ain't like that. Like we running around with choppers and we putting it in too. So they like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. So now I'm getting offended, young. So I'm like, yo, man, enough is enough, man. All the jokes is that joking shit is over with. So they looking at me like, yeah, right. So they kept the jokes on. So now me knowing what I had to do, I just punched the kid in his mouth. And we started fighting right there in the dorm.
Where y'all start getting it right there?
Right there. Right
So
there in the dorm.
so we was in Green for that time, right? And you said you fighting all the time. And a lot of times when we in situations like that, and it's like, you link up. So it's like, upstate is upstate, and that's what it is. Did you ever find yourself in situations because of other dudes that you felt like was gonna go, but they didn't go? So now you had to go?
Yeah, it's crazy that you say that because my cousin ended up coming there and same thing. He was younger than me. I think when he got there, he was 17, and his dad support system with the family. They sent him a pair of Timberland boots, and I say this kid is probably 18, 19. About like now my cousin he like 5'5". This cat like 6'3", 240 pounds. Went in my cousin cube in his cubicle when he was at the mess hall eating lunch, dinner, whatever, and stole his Timberland boots. So now at the time, mind you, I said I'm in green fighting every day. So I kind of build up a little reputation of myself and from Buffalo being like, yo, homie gon' homie ain't going for that. So when my cousin came to me and was like, yo, cuz, the kid popped me for my boots in the dorm. So I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, cuz, you gotta go back. First nigga you see, you gotta put it in on him.
Yeah, put it, whoop him.
But he just got there and he's listening to me, but he's kind of skeptical because he's like, yo, I'm just about to go and just set it on somebody. So, he didn't do it. We go to the yard, so we talking. I finds out who does it. Cat from Brooklyn. So, we go to the yard. Mad Brooklyn cats go to the yard. Mad Buffalo cats go to the yard. Basically, we got into a riot, and we got the boots back.
How did the riot go though? Who set it the riot? Who set the riot off?
Oh, we did. Oh, the Buffalo set it off. We
So
set it off.
just
Yeah.
straight up went and popped.
No, it ain't pop. We tried to be diplomatic about it at first, and the cat was from Brooklyn. Little, you know, thought that we was going for it. So my man that was from the town, same size, same built as him, approached him. So as soon as he started talking, homie hit him right in his mouth. Boom. So now when his Brooklyn's mans and them steps up, that's when we moved on him. And we come from fighting. You know what I mean? So we dogged them niggas and like I said, when he went back to the dorm, he got his boots back. He definitely got them boots back.
The cousin pop?
Yeah, he popped. Yeah, he definitely put it in.
So
Yeah.
did you ever, while you was in Green, did you ever have to you know what I mean, shoot anybody?
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
see, that's the thing. I don't want to glorify that. People think like that stuff is like that's. I always tell people, prison is a society inside of a society. You got to adapt to what goes on in there. A lot of your principles and standards that you would hold out here in the streets, you have to conform to that prison lifestyle. And it's the concept of basically predator and prey. If you're not the predator, then you're gonna be the prey. And at the time, like I said, I was young and I was real influential, so influenced by, stuff that I thought was cool. I thought it was cool running around with a razor and harming people that looked like me. And it wasn't. But I definitely did some things to some individuals that now, as me being a grown man, I'm not proud of because it was senseless. And to think that it's a couple cats running around with scars for the rest of their life of from my hands. I mean, it don't bother me to the fact where I can't sleep at night, but it's like, damn, man, you really was acting out for no reason at all.
No, that's a fact. But we ain't gonna glorify it. But at the end, the experience for people to understand what you went through or how you felt, because a lot of dudes will get on here and they'll talk about how they shot, or how they cut, and they don't say how they felt during that time. Like
Yeah.
your first time doing that, was you scared? Was you nervous?
Actually, the first time I did that, I wasn't nervous because the kid had crossed me. And at the time of him crossing me, I wanted to inflict as much bodily harm to him as possible. Just to show him and to show everybody else to think that they were going to be able to cross me, that if you do, you're going to have an issue. So at the time, I wasn't scared. I knew.
He crossed you, you said. How did that come across?
So basically, when you go on visits, when your family sending you boots and sneakers and the polo shirts, some guys be wanting to, wear it. So, I let a cat wear some gear, and he called himself keeping it.
Oh, he thought he was gonna run, just
Yeah,
take
he,
it.
he thought he was just basically gonna dead me on my clothes. So I'm like, damn, homie, like, but he wasn't in the same dorm I was in. So for me to give it to him and not ever see him again, but like see him like months and weeks later, it could happen. So, I keep sending messages like, yo, fam, where my gear at? Yo, let me get my shirt and my boots. So homie was like, yo, I'ma send it, man. Stop sending me messages. So I'm like, stop sending, nigga, that's my shit. Like, what you talking about? So now it's to the point where I'm like, you know what? When I see homie, I'm gonna push his shit back straight up. It ain't no talking no more. You done violated. Everybody know you violated because you're wearing my clothes. So I had to do what I had to do. So we on the walkway going to breakfast.
Explain what the walkway is.
So basically the walkway is it's dorm setup, and they call each housing unit to breakfast. So you come out and you have to walk basically to the mess hall where they serve you breakfast. So in Green is a very very large facility. So it's basically almost, I want to say, half a mile walk to the
Mm.
mess hall. So I knew that me catching him was going to be easy, and I knew basically I could get away because in prison you all have the same uniform, which is green pants, a green shirt, a green jacket, hoodie, Scully. So you got hundreds of dudes on the walkway looking the same.
Where boy was from too.
If I'm not, he was from Brooklyn too.
All right, finish
Yep,
going.
he was from Brooklyn too. So they called us for child, which is going to eat breakfast, and I had me a little razor. Broke down the razor that you shave with, melted it up, put in a toothbrush, and
Oh, you
you
put the
know,
razor in the toothbrush.
I melted the razor in the toothbrush, tied it up with the string, and I waited for him to catch him on the walkway. And he just bebopping on the walkway, not even paying attention to what was going on. And I came up right behind him, did what I had to do, kept it moving.
I hit him.
Yeah.
Did he fight back or did he take off?
Actually, he was so shocked, and I didn't even look back. Once I did it, I spent, passed off to my man, passed the hammer off to my man, and I just kept going. I didn't look back because what you looking back for? Like I said, everybody looked like each other. So I got my hoodie on, I got my Scully on. He gets hit, so now he like this looking. All he sees is a bunch of hoodies in green.
Oh,
So now if I'm looking back, he gonna know like, oh shit,
so
this
you
the
kept it
yeah.
pushing.
So I just kept it moving.
All right, all right. Yo, your time there, right? And we gonna jump around a little bit. Have you ever got into it with anybody from Buffalo?
It's sad to say, a couple of individuals I had to, and it hurt because in that type of situation, like you normally try to stick with where you from. You try to put neighborhood grievances to the side. When you like Bailey going against downtown and GY going against the belt. You try to put them to the side and just like try to stay unified. But in some instances you can't. A lot of beef that happened on the street is definitely spilled over to the penitentiary.
Yeah, your mindset with that was, you know, basically if it was murder beef in the street, then it's murder beef in prison, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It definitely spilled over to that, but a lot of my instances was like really minor. You know what I'm saying? They could have been avoided. I didn't have too many instances with cats from the town, but I did run into a couple, and like I said, it was just over. A lot of it was misunderstandings. A lot of it was ego. A lot of it was because I'm a laid back cat, and in prison you wear a mask, and I'm not out there trying to be the toughest and the biggest and the baddest. So when you see somebody laid back, you automatically think you could take advantage of this individual. And you know that kind of happened a couple times to me and made me. Well, I'm not gonna say made me, but I had to act out because I'm not gonna let you hurt me or harm me. So you know, I had to do what I had to do a couple times just to show, like, listen, it ain't going down like that.
That's definitely understandable because you definitely can't just let anybody just walk all over you because you always on Front Street. You know what I'm saying? You can't really hide in prison at all. Um, as far as your experience in prison, right? What is throughout your bids, right? What is something that you seen that was just like you seen that was like, damn, like this is the way we living, like this is where we like this is what we subject to.
Man, listen, I seen so much in them 20 some years, man. Like,
Give me some experience that you ain't gonna never forget.
I swear, I ain't gonna never forget this one experience, man. I was in Green. I was in Green, and one of the cats, older cat, he was from Queens. The other white kid, he was from sometime right outside of the boroughs, like Middletown, Schenectady, or from there. White kid worked out. The OG from Queens, he was worked out. So I see they got their little bond or whatever. So excuse me. So on Friday and Saturday you have late night. So normally you gotta basically go take it to your bunk at 11 o'clock. Friday and Saturday you can stay up to 2, 3, 4 in the morning watching TV. So it was a weekend, and I don't know why, but I went to sleep early. I just probably was going through something, and I just went to sleep.
Hold on real quick. Hey yo, shout out to everybody that's tuned in. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the cash app. Hey yo, listen though. Y'all boys cut that out. It's a community we in right here. So ain't nobody one experience is different than the other person experience as far as, you know what I'm saying, my boy, whatever Gemstone went through, how he see it, that's how he see it, you know what I'm saying? We a community. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all remember that. So I don't want to know what we roast each other on Sundays. All right.
Why? What happened?
Nah, I had a couple of the family. They was going. Gemstone was stating something because he thought, oh, you know me, upstate niggas never went against each other, but you proved that fact, and you just said it. And 313 was just was telling him like, you know what I mean, I just don't like it to go on the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? Because he's saying he in PC, but he's saying General Pop, and they, they going look
He
like they
said
about.
what?
He telling him that he was in PC. He telling another dude that's on here that he was in PC, like about, you know what I mean? Because he asked a question. So he was telling me he's a General Pop, but I see it going somewhere else. So I
Oh
was telling
yeah,
them boys
yeah,
like, you know
yeah.
what I mean?
I mean,
This
I
the
mean, for the
community.
most part,
But
upstate don't go against each other. But you got to realize the time frame I'm talking about.
no,
I'm
that's a
talking about
fact.
the early '90s.
No, that's a fact crazy.
You know
But
what
hold
I'm
on, finish
saying?
that story. The white boy and son.
Oh, so okay, so the white boy, they worked out together, whatever. So I probably woke up at like 2 in the morning. They was having sexual relations in the queue, and I looked, and I'm in the double bunk queue. They in a single queue.
They was having sexual relations. They
Man,
was fucking.
dog, when I looked over there, I looked, and I'm just like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on? And then I looked back to make sure I wasn't dreaming, or I was like I'm knowing what's happening, and I'm like, oh hell nah. So I just turned over, and then in the morning when I woke up, I'm just looking at these cats now, like, what the fuck did I just see? And they just walking around, talking shit, acting like nothing happened. So I'm like, wow, I gotta get the fuck out of here. That's why I'm like, nah, this shit ain't it. Word.
Nah, not at all. Um, you came up in the '90s and everything like that through prison and everything. So, certain rules of doing certain things a certain way was you know what I mean, very strict and was very stuck by. Like, what is something that you see that like towards your last bid that you see change from your first bid? How dudes is lax in how they operate.
Well, when I first came in, you had the God bodies, the Nation of Gods and their 5 percenters. They literally were strong. They literally when I started going into the maximum security penitentiaries, they will come to you give you lessons, give you literature, and make sure that if you wasn't a rat or if you was like had no dirt on your name, they basically will like try to help like steer you in the right direction. Now, man, you just gangs is prevalent now in the system. You know everything is glorified by gang banging culture now. Like dudes don't really care about going home. They just in there wilding out. You know what I'm saying? And back then, like a lot of the gangs literally was just started the main gangs back then was the Latin Kings, the Nietas, Bloods just started, so it wasn't they were there, but you was not just going to any penitentiary saying you was homie. You wasn't doing that back in the early '90s.
Oh, because they was firing back then.
Yeah, because you know it started on Rikers Island, and you know the Hispanic brothers they were strong back then. I mean, they was it wasn't even more so the Latin Kings, it was the Nietas. They were so strong. They heard you was blood, your ass was getting aired out. Even they didn't even care if they had concrete evidence to prove you was. All they needed was a speculation. Oh, he homie, you done on site. You getting out of there. So you know,
Have you seen the Nietas go at the Bloods?
Yeah.
What was something that was crazy you seen when they did that?
Oh man, this one kid, man, I felt so bad for this kid. Homie just pulled up in the dorm, man. Homie wasn't even in the dorm 24 hours. And some of that shit, I thought they was just doing that just to flex they muscle. Homie pulled up in the dorm, man. Somebody threw out there that he was blood. Man, the man standing because you got your bed, you got a big locker, a small locker. So he leaning on his big locker like this, looking around. Somebody came from behind him, hit him up with an ice pick like I'm gonna say at least about 11, 13 times. And I'm in my cube and I'm looking like, oh shit. Next thing I know, I just seen the back of he had a white t-shirt on. I see the back of his t-shirt and all the little dots he got hit just turned red. And I'm like, oh shit. Boom, he dropped. I'm like, oh my God. I just sat down. The correctional officer came in the dorm, seen him laying in the aisle and shit. Now they have a radio walkie-talkie. He pulls the pin, boop. When they pull the pin, all the officers run to the crib and shit. They ran to the crib, took homie out on the stretcher. And you know, they search everybody. They check your hands, check the cubicles for weapons. He lived, you know what I mean? But they aired him out and didn't even know if he was blood or not.
Just all speculation.
Yeah, one of them weird niggas was just like, yo, nigga blood. Nigga, I mean, I didn't know the nigga, but I mean, damn, like, get some type of evidence.
That's a fact. Was you ever did you ever join Blood?
No, never.
Man, have it. Okay.
Never. No, that wasn't my thing. I came up in an era where we fought. And you know, I came up in an era where you stayed with the hood you was raised in.
Facts.
And that's what I did. I mean, it's nothing against nobody that did, because I got a couple close friends of mine that's homie, but for me, that wasn't the thing for me.
Yo, during your bed, right? What borough you feel like you connected with the most?
Oh
like,
man, I connected the most. The most I connected with was Queens. Them my niggas.
Yeah, I fuck with Queens.
Outside of Queens, I'm gonna say Manhattan.
Manhattan?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Manhattan. The most confrontations I had was with Brooklyn.
And why you think that is?
With Brooklyn? Because them niggas in Brooklyn think they just super gorilla. Them niggas just think they super gorilla. They just think that,
finish going.
They just think they got that screw face down to a science. And they try to hit you with that screw face like that wasn't the fight. Then when you punch a nigga in his mouth, you see like, homie ain't even built like that.
What about the Bronx though? You ain't mess with the Bronx?
No, I mess with the Bronx too though. But my close ties and affiliation was definitely Queens #1 and Manhattan.
All right. So have you ever been in the box during your incarceration?
Yeah. Yep.
What was the worst box you've been to, and what was the worst experience you experienced in a box? Whether it was with a bunkie that you couldn't stand, or officer, or whatever.
Oh man, I was in so many different joints. The worst. I ain't gonna lie, all them shits is fucked up. Ain't none of them shits good. I think my worst experience was when I was in a medium. I was in a Governor, a medium called Governor, and I don't know, for some reason, man, that moment, that's where I felt like I was about to lose my sanity.
What happened?
It was just, I don't know what it was, man, but I just know that, man, I was on the verge of really, really breaking down, man, for real. I mean,
What was going on around you that caused these afflictions
I
of
mean,
mine?
it was just quiet. It was too quiet. Like the light stayed on, and then you hear a low bzzz, and you heard that all day and all night. The officers was just, oh my God, they treated you like shit. You'd be lucky if you took a shower once a week. Um, like it was torture, man. That shit was torture, man.
You had no bunkie?
No, I had no bunkie. I was in there by myself.
How many months?
I was only in there for, I want to say 45 days. Yeah, I was in there for 45 days. But that 45 days, man, that shit killed me, man. That shit, oh my God, that shit was the worst. Cause you know they feed you, you get lunch at like, I mean you get breakfast at like 6 in the morning. So you getting lunch at like 11:30. And you getting dinner at like 3. So from 3 until 6 in the morning, you just on your own. So now you gotta conjure up ways to try to save. You gotta save butter. You gotta save a couple salt packets. If you get spaghetti and meatballs, you gotta eat one meatball and save the other two to for dinner.
You hoping you gonna say these
Yeah,
for a snack?
you get some toast for breakfast. You gotta save it with the butter so you can have you and some sugar. So you gotta use some butter sugar bread.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? So you know, and then I got so smart where you know they check like if you got an orange, they check in the tray for the orange peels because they don't want you to keep it. So I would peel half the orange, uh, put the peels in the tray, give it back so they didn't see the peels, or I bite the apple a little bit so they could see it.
And they won't let you keep. They won't let you keep your fruit,
No,
man.
you couldn't keep nothing.
Oh, they was trying to
You
starve
couldn't
you for
keep
real,
the
for
milk
real.
cart. So then with the milk cart, I would rip the milk cart in half and put it in the tray where they only see half. So now when I get the milk, I get 2 milks. I cuff one and put the other half down. So now they see that it's looking like 2 milk carts is in the tray. But now I got some type of vitamins for the night. You know what I'm saying?
What about the boxes you've been to where you had bunkies? Did you ever have to put your hands on a bunkie or had a bunkie you was like,
That I think that's like the worst situation to put a grown man in. Being double bunked with a total stranger that you know absolutely nothing about is crazy. And man, I had bunkies that was sneak thieving.
what do you mean sneak? How they sneak?
Like I had some stamps. You know, you gotta buy stamps and shit to write
That's a fact.
home. And you know, if you go on like a medical call out or something, you know, you got your shit there. Ain't like you got a lock for your locker or nothing. So you leave your shit there. You come back. You know, you got 10 stamps. You come back. Now you got 8. So now you looking like. First you might think like, oh shit, maybe I did something, but now you like, okay, I'm gonna be conscious of what I got. And you just start noticing stuff, and then sometimes like my all my altercation happened with my bunkie, with us being bored, us talking, and us thinking we know more than the other one.
So give me a situation, an example, like or what happened. Give me an example where you was like, yo, yeah, I got into a fight and you couldn't. Afterwards, you just like,
Nah, it was just we just was like in there kicking it, probably high as hell, smoking weed, and we just talk about some shit that we Jay-Z type stupid shit like that. Oh, this nigga got more money than this. And, no, nigga, you don't know. Oh, nigga, you don't know. Oh, nigga, shut the fuck up. Boop.
and
That type of dumb shit. It wasn't no real like like
What
real beef.
What'd you do when you found out your bunkie stole the stamps from you though? How
Oh,
you?
no. This what happened. I was just not. This what happened. What happened was, what the fuck did he do? No, he didn't steal stamps. He went in my pictures.
Oh,
He went
ooh.
in my photos. He didn't take anything, but from my experience, when you in that situation and you got your girl photos in there, dudes will take them, masturbate to them, and try to put them back. So when I seen my shit all like in disarray, I automatically knew homie fucked with my shit. That's a violation. Ain't no talking, ain't no nothing. Nigga, I know how I left my pictures. We not about to do that, dog. Washed him up, they got him up out of there. And I didn't even get in trouble because the correctional officers didn't like him.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So and that's the fucked up thing. They was putting people in the cell with him, hoping that they would do that to him.
Oh, so they
He's
trying
the
to.
type of individual that he didn't need to be double bunked with nobody because he don't give a fuck how many ass whoopers you give him. He gonna violate. He gonna violate. That's just just a dumb nigga, dumb stupid nigga.
So have you ever during your time? Have you ever seen anybody? You talk about dudes getting stabbed. This and the third. Have you ever seen anybody lose their life?
Man, I saw some good niggas, man. Some good niggas died by the hands of the police, died by the hands of other convicts,
What was
and
what was
died of
one?
natural causes.
What was one that you remembered as far as we're gonna go from one by the police and then one by inmates that you saw that you was just like it shouldn't have went like that.
Like I said, the kid in Lakeview,
Oh, when he okay,
he
yeah.
died. He died. I ain't gonna never forget this one. I was in Auburn. I was working in Auburn. Auburn, a lot of people don't know, make the license plates. Like they don't make license plates in the street. The prison industry make the license plates. So I'm in the plate shop working, and cat from Queens, he was in the penitentiary hustling. So he was getting, doing his thing, and he gave somebody some stuff on the premises of the kid was gonna buy the whole bundle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, crazy kid was from Brooklyn, so
Brooklyn.
the kid deaded him. The kid took his bundle and was basically like, "Fuck you, nigga, I'm not paying you."
Okay.
Yo, the kid from Queens, good nigga, man, quiet. All the man wanted to do, man, give him a couple dollars, go home, man, back to his family. But unfortunate, a lot of people don't have the support that they need, and they have to do other things to survive. So that's what he was doing to survive in there. And the fucked up thing was you had dudes throwing batteries in his back, telling him that he had to do something. Especially if you're trying to hustle in prison, you can't let anybody take something from you and not stand up for yourself. Mind you, we working in a shop that has nothing but metal. So homie made something up, took it out to the yard. Stupid nigga was the Brooklyn nigga was on the bench working out, some crazy shit. Homie jumped right over him, hit him up with the pick, stabbed him all in his face,
Mm.
and got knocked. And the kid died. Word, right in the small yard in Auburn. This was in like, I want to say this was like oh one oh two. Word. That shit was fucked up, man. Cause homie from Queens was a good nigga, man. Homie was a good nigga, man. Homie, dude give you whatever, look out for you. You fucked up. You know what I mean? He the type of cat that wanted to see everybody eat. You know what I'm saying? And these niggas just got on some thirsty bullshit for no reason, no reason at all.
Man, that's crazy. That
Mm-hmm.
is like that because now a life was lost, and then also a life gonna spend more time in the system. There's no love or nothing, no hope or nothing.
I think the saddest person I seen killed, well not killed, he died. I was in Elmira, population though, going to ASAP with this kid every day. Now, ASAT is an alcohol substance abuse treatment program. So basically, when you in ASAT, you trying to get the fuck out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Homie was in there ready to go home, but the fucked up thing was he always would have seizures. So I'm talking about that ASAT group. It probably was like 8 of us in there. So I'm talking about. So we all was like kicking it every day. So one day, one night, the walls is made out of metal. So everybody banging on the wall, boom, 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 boom. I'm asleep. I wake up. I can't even remember homie name, but they yelling, saying, "Yo, he need medical attention." These bitch ass COs is like, "Oh, shut the fuck up! Stop banging on the walls. Lay down." Basically, they didn't get him the medical attention in a timely manner, and he died. Yo, yo, they canceled ASAP for like a month because we was fucked up. Because yo, we was with this kid every day. We all was talking about going home and the prison shit. Yo, give me your name and number. Yo, we gonna get up. And then like we went to the day he died. We went the next day. They seen how fucked up we was. They just canceled the shit. It was like we literally. I just kept looking at the seat he used to sit in like, yo, I can't believe this nigga just died in here.
Died because you couldn't even get the medical attention you're
Yup, he
supposed
had a
to.
seizure. He had a seizure in the cell. Yup, and they let him die right in the cell, man. Yo, that shit, my nigga, that shit was that was like one of the saddest shits I seen in prison, man.
You did 21 years. You a smooth cat. You got swag to you, anything like that. You ever knock a CO, bro?
Yo, man, that shit in there is crazy, man.
I mean, come on,
That shit in
man.
there, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. That shit is crazy. I mean, if you got it, you got it. I mean, I wouldn't advise nobody to do that type of behavior because I mean, you fuck around and get in a lot of trouble, man. But I mean, they women. They women. They see a good looking, attractive man, same as you in the street. That shit go in there, and you get close with them. Shit happens, man. I
Well,
mean,
I mean, so what
shit
about for you?
happens,
For,
man. Shit happens, man.
I mean, what about you? I mean, for yourself though, did you ever come close to?
I mean, I had good relationships with officers in there that helped me out, man, and I respect what they did for me and other individuals in there, man.
Okay, all right. So this nigga ain't trying to talk about it, y'all, but y'all tell you little he cut smooth as hell, so he had him one too. If I forgot, wife might be watching this too. So dang, I lost my train of thought. I'm about to ask you. Go see her cracking up. Um, you know, and think throughout that time, like you said, you got officers that help you. Officers is there. Have you ever felt like it's you against them? Like a lot of dudes feel like when they in jail, it's them against the officer. Have you ever had any relationships with officers? You was like, yo, you understand that this is their job, and they was a good person.
You know what? I'm gonna give you a story, right? So when I got released from Green, dickhead officer, this nigga was a cold dickhead. So the nigga say, so I'm in the change room, putting on my clothes. I'm like, oh shit, it's lit. I'm about to go home. So boom, I walk out. He the first face I see. So I'm looking, not my whole vibe changed. Cause I'm like, damn man. So he looked me up and down and said, hey, you about to go home? I'm like, yeah. He said, you know what, man? The man stuck his hand out. I shook it because shook his hand. He said, yo, man, this is only a job, man. He said, I'm this way to deter you from coming back to prison. He said, man, I want to see all y'all go home, man, but I can't make it easy for y'all. Yo, I looked at the man. I told him, I said, yo, man, I respect that. Because now I understood some of the stuff that he did. Because when you go through that's not to be glorified. That's not to be praised and worshiped. Like that experience, I wouldn't wish that experience on nobody. Like that is a very, if you go to prison and you like that shit, something is really, really wrong with you. I mean, I understand you got to do what you got to do, and sometimes it do get overwhelming and hard out here. But to not really learn from that experience, nah, man, nah.
No, so that's a fact. We all find ourselves in situations where it could be a pressure that we go through while we out here, and it forces us to do things to go back, but to actually like it and enjoy it, now that is a whole nother situation. That's just crazy,
Yeah.
And for me myself, I basically grew up around you, Damage. You mean Buck? You mean you already done did biz, and I got to see in my way of growth. I had good older dudes, peers, to educate me instead of just having dudes that was your age. Because how did you feel about dudes that would be your age? But I always say prison either evolves you or it de-evolves you. How did you feel about that when you used to see dudes your age still acting like they was 17, 18?
Oh man, that shit used to annoy the shit out of me because At first, I'm gonna say this. At first, it annoyed me until I started dealing with the. Until I started educating myself and understand that it's a lot of mental health issues in the prison system, and they're not addressed. And just because an individual is a certain age, it doesn't mean that he's developed mentally at that level yet. You know what I mean? Some people got third, fourth grade educations and is 60 years old. So I couldn't expect that man to fully comprehend things that I would comprehend. So at first it really annoyed me until I started like really analyzing like my surroundings and the individuals that I'm around. Like, yo, you got some individuals in here that just no matter what in life, they just not gonna get it right. They just not gonna understand life. They just is gonna commit crime. They're just gonna that's just them. And you know, you just gotta. I mean, who am I to pass judgment on it? I mean, if that's what you want to do, then I mean, hey man. But it's sad though.
When did it click for you? When did you say to yourself, like, you know what, it got to change?
You know when it clicked for me, and it's crazy because I did all that prison time, and I'm not gonna lie, my first bid, like I'm not gonna lie, I had mama love. She was looking out, sending me bread, sending me the gear and shit. I'm smoking weed, I'm eating. So I looked at it more as like just bullshitting. I didn't learn from the experience or nothing. I came home. It kind of made me, I ain't gonna say kind of, it made me more aggressive when I came home. So when I did my first bid, I came home extremely, extremely aggressive and bitter. And I really started wilding. And this was now basically I came home, I went home in the like early mid 90s. So now I came home like in the later 90s. That's when the town was on fire. So now I jumped right into the frying pan. It's and I'm doing a lot of shit that I learned from prison. Now I brought home with me. I catch another bid. Now the level I first was at. Now I done came up a couple levels now. So now I come back to prison. I'm still living good though. I had my rough times, but for the most part, you know, specs, chains, visits, getting the bag, all that dumb shit. So I really didn't struggle. I struggled, but I didn't really feel the struggle. So then I come home again. I have my son. Things ain't really bad for me, but I'm making them seem worse. I'm making them seem worse than what they are. So I catch my third bid. So now I'm experiencing my son's whole childhood through prison. And that shit tore me up because I never wanted my son to grow up without me present. And now, not only my son, I'm losing close family members now. So now I'm like, oh shit, I'm never gonna see this motherfucker again in my life. And now I don't got the money and the support I had. Now it's hungry nights, no visits, can't get on the phone. Now it's like, oh shit, motherfuckers really left me for dead in here. And at first it was a lot of bitterment and resentment. And then I had to get over that, like, dude, you put yourself back in here. They life can't stop because you went to prison. You can't be mad because they not sending you no bread or they ain't got the phone on or they not doing what you expect them to do. You holding them to a standard that you would do. You can't do that with people. It's just you can't do that. So I came to the realization like, yo, man, you got to get your shit together because if you don't, I'm fortunate and blessed, knock on wood, to not have a life, not be sitting in prison 25 to life, 35 to life, 15 to life. I always had numbers and was able to come home, live my life. Now, I fuck up, I'm gonna get a life bid. Now imagine me at my age going back with a life bid.
It's
Like
over.
it's over. Who wants to put themselves back in that type of predicament? No matter how hard it is, I'd rather struggle out here than to live good in there.
That's a fact.
I'd rather struggle out here.
Um, Throughout your bid though, you gotta do things to survive, man. It's things you gotta do to survive, things you gotta, you know what I mean, make happen for yourself. So you seem like, and not putting this on, you seem like the type of person that's, gonna handle their business. We live together, so I know for sure. Have you ever got the bag?
I mean, yeah, cause I basically was at the point one time where I was trying to survive by any means necessary, and you could bear witness to. I wanted to make sure not only I was good, but my niggas around me was good,
It's a fact.
because it don't make sense if one person good and everybody else fucked up, because that's when a lot of the resentment and the hatred and the envy come into play. So I'm like, shit, I'm not about to sit up here and be living like a king and my nigga down 2, 3 cells starving. Nah, hell no, nigga. I'm about to eat a big bowl. You gonna eat a big bowl. Or I got this bowl, nigga. You gonna take half this shit, nigga. We gonna eat together. It didn't make sense. And like I said, I did a lot of things in prison that I'm not proud of for the sake of having to survive. That's what I was. That's the guys I was trying to live under. I didn't really have to do it. And can I say I was trying to live above my means? Hell yeah. Because at the end of the day, I could have sustained. I could have money managed my money better. But I still had, my flaws, still trying to smoke cigarettes, smoke weed,
Was you nervous the first time you had got the bag?
yeah. Well, actually, yeah, I was. Yeah, it was in the county jail. It wasn't even upstate. It was in the county jail. I was young, fucking seeing everybody else doing it, listening to everybody doing it. I'm like, man, I could do that shit. And I love to smoke weed. So I'm like, shit, I'm not about to keep paying for it if I got somebody that's going to bring it. I wasn't even scared for me. I was more scared for the person that was bringing it to me. Because I'm looking like, damn, man, if they get knocked, oh, it's going to be ugly. So I was really more worried for them. I knew once I got it, I was good. Because crazy as it sounds, it's just, just from hearing the stories, I'm like, fuck it, I gotta do it. And I mean, the shit is crazy and sick, but I mean, you doing what you gotta do to survive in there.
Did you ever get knocked trying to get it?
Nope, I never got knocked.
Have you ever seen anybody get knocked
Oh
trying
my
to get it?
god, man, I've seen countless. I've been a part of numerous, countless dudes getting knocked, and that shit is fucked up, man. Especially when you see people, relatives, family members, associates get knocked off. Now you sitting up here like, damn, man, for some bullshit. This motherfucker done caught a motherfucking case over some bullshit. You not thinking that at the time. Only thing you think at the time is, oh shit, we got the bag, we lit, we about to go to the yard and smoke. That's it. That's all you thinking about. You ain't thinking about nothing else. And that shit, like I said, now that I really reflect on a lot of that, I just thank God that I made it through. I thank God that, none of my family or relatives ever got, caught up in none of that. It's
What's the wildest thing you've seen on the visiting floor?
man, I done seen somebody get cut. I done seen people having sex
On the visit, got cut on the visiting
on the
floor?
visiting floor.
Ways with his family?
Yup.
Can
Well,
you
he was with his girlfriend, wife.
can you explain like how that scenario played out?
Man, dude was over there with his shorty, and homie came in, and he sat down with his people, like I can't tell you verbatim how to play, but this
What
motherfucker,
you yeah.
somebody coming in on the visiting floor, because when you in prison, your head is on a swivel. You got to be aware of everything that's going on around you. So, I see homie come in. Then when I go down there, you scanning the visiting floor looking for your family, so you're seeing everybody who's down there. So I see son down there with his lady and shit. Homie come in, homie sit down with his people. I'm still looking around. Homie get right up, nice and polite. Boom, push the nigga shit back. I'm like, oh shit. Homie just reached for his face, and
Right there on the visiting floor.
yeah, right there on the visiting floor.
Ooh, that was
Police
serious.
rushed him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was a serious situation right
That shit
there.
was crazy.
You
Shit was crazy.
How you feel about this? Like, when you doing a bid and you prison, I always tell people, is where you get to see who a real person is. Like you get to see that's where everything is pulled away. The mask is pulled away because eventually you're gonna get tested. And you know dudes out in the street. You know some fellas. You know you've been around everything. I'm saying it's not like you a square. You out there. How did you feel when you seen certain dudes come to jail, and they wasn't the image they portrayed in the street?
I mean, at first I was judgmental, but I had to look at it because prison changed me. I wasn't the same I was on the street. You know what I'm saying? At times I had to be more aggressive, and at times I was more laid back. You know what I'm saying? So, but certain individuals, like I said, it used to bother me, especially when I mean, it's crazy because I've seen people in the streets that were straight goons, and when they go to prison, man, they laid back, quiet. Couple incidents happened to him. You like, oh shit! If this nigga was in the streets, he wasn't going for that. And I seen some people that was timid in the street go to prison and become animals. So I seen both sides of the spectrum where it's like, you can never. One thing I learned about prison, you can never judge a book by its cover. You can't look at a man and be like, yo, that man is soft, or that man ain't gonna get busy. Cause that'll be the cat that'll push your shit back and have you all fucked up.
Now, throughout your bid, have you ever been? And we keeping it real. Have you ever been back down, or have you ever been whooped, or have you ever been? You mean like, damn, I shouldn't have chose this fight right here. So
I,
we,
I'm not trying to brag it in. I never took a loss. I got scratched before. I definitely got scratched.
oh, you got cut.
Yep, I got
How did
scratched.
that situation happen?
And Comstock wasn't my beef. Little homies got into it, and like I said, I'm on some town shit. And once I seen that shit happen, I'm like, oh hell no, I can't let that shit go down. So me and homie went back to back with him. Son caught me, but luckily, it wasn't nothing where it scarred me for. I mean, I got a blemish, but it's not like a major scar. You know what I mean? But as far as fighting, nah,
How
I
you
never.
how you felt when you got scratched though?
Oh man, I was so bad, man. It that shit had me so pissed off because at the end of the day, I couldn't even get back at the cat. The crazy shit is the kid that scratched me. I whooped him when we had the little gang fight, and then when the police when the correction officers come, made us get down and broke the shit up, they didn't catch everybody. They didn't catch us with the gang fight. So now when we go in, I'm still on the swivel. I'm still on the swivel looking. So when we go to we square up again, he whacked, but we tussling. I didn't even know I was hit. So now the police come like, yo, everybody get on the wall. So when I get on the wall, my man is standing next to me. He's like, oh shit, you hit. I'm like, what? Now the first thing I always see when a motherfucker get cut is they grab their face. You grabbing your face with a dirty hand, that's gonna blow your shit up. So now my mind is, man, I'm not about to touch this shit. So I'm trying to be like this, but they want you to have your head up. So I just got my head up. So if he see it, he gonna see that it's leaking. So he see the shit leaking, and you know what I mean? They fucking ran down. I'm like, oh, what the fuck happened? So I'm like, yo, what the fuck you talking about? That shit happened in basketball. You know what I mean? But yeah, and that kid was from crazy shit. He was from Manhattan too.
Oh, he
Yeah,
was.
yeah, he was from Manhattan. That did it.
Exam. I always like to ask dudes this question right here because I feel like what I mean. I feel like the way you've been with me. We lived together. We lived together for a minute. We done did programs together, sign language,
Mm-hmm.
graduated, and did all that together. You know what I'm saying? This is who I took this. This is who I took who was in the sign language class with me. This is who Tubbs was talking about too. They so I always smile. I always found stuff that was funny. You've been
Mm-hmm.
around me, like I always found the funniest stuff. Even out with the worst situations, I always found what was funny about them. What's something that throughout your bid that's just been like, you just to this day you laugh at, to this day that you've seen or you experience in general that you laugh at?
Hmm. Did I laugh at? Damn, that's a good question. Let me see.
That always make you chuckle. You just like, yo, I can't believe that. Like, wow.
Oh, I got a couple of incidents where let me think. I really can't think of nothing like that offhand. I really can't.
You can't think of nothing like that off here.
Nah, not that. Honestly, I really don't. In the past, I did it a little more, but now I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm so far removed from prison life and culture. I don't even think about it. I don't even like unless it's a platform like this where I'm trying to educate somebody about it. That's the only time I speak on it. But like thinking about it, like if one of the homies call me, like we always on some positive vibe, talking about like something like as far as me, yo, what's going on in there, yo, who there with you? Man, I don't fuck about none of that shit. 'Cause first of all, nigga, you're not giving nobody else my number and all that old crazy shit. Nah, nigga, you call, I got you. We gonna see what's good, and that's that, nigga. Don't give my number to nobody. None of that shit. What's good? What's going on with you? Where your mind frame at? And that's what I'm on.
What about when the deaf dude popped on real?
I wasn't there for that.
You wasn't there when the deaf dude popped on real? The young
Nah,
deaf kid that could he used to rap, but he couldn't hear.
nah.
You wasn't there for that one. I thought you
Hell
was right there.
no.
That was right. It was right in front of your cell. Remember the
You talking
young?
about Lil Def?
Not little. I just told a story about Lil Def. Not Lil Def. I was just talking about Lil Def.
You talking about the Hispanic dude?
Not the Hispanic dude. The one young kid that lost his hearing when the police whooped him.
Oh, he popped on real?
Yeah, he popped on real. You remember real had to yoke him up and grab him, and he was like, he was like, nah. And Buck had to break it up.
I don't remember that.
Oh, you remember that? Yeah, him and Real
Ah,
got into an argument. He thought Real was going, and he popped on Real. Real had to like wash him up. Real like grab him, wash him up, yoke him
nah,
up.
I ain't know that. You talking about my neighbor?
Yeah, your neighbor, him,
You talking about
the
my
young
neighbor?
kid.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
You remember that? What
I
about
don't know where they must have kicked me out the block then.
what about your man Chicago,
Chicago.
light skinned old dude that thought he was a pimp? You don't remember him? That was your man. What was your most memorable experience about being on that block, the deaf and the blind block? What was your most memorable? What you remember while being over there?
Oh, just the unity we had.
The unity was
Yeah,
good.
that's the most memorable thing I had. The unity we had because I've never been in a situation where it was so many dudes from Buffalo in one block and on one company. Like we was deep as hell. Like we had all the jobs on Smash. Like we was good. You know what I'm saying? We all was good. We all fucked with each other. We all ate. You know what I'm saying? Made sure we was good. Somebody need to use the phone. You know what I mean? That whole vibe was like
That was a good vibe.
that shit definitely was a good vibe. Word.
Now, since you can't remember nothing that you say funny offhand, I know you got some story. 21 years, you gotta have something funny, something you seen that had you cracking up. But I know you remember something like this. So prison is prison, and it's either you predator or you prey. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of us set that line off the rip. No matter how much you laugh, no matter how much you joke. What's some of your moments you played predator, and you played predator knowing that it's the situation what it's called for.
I mean,
You done played predator. Be real.
yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I did. But I think, and I don't even know if nobody else knew why I did what I did. I really was doing that to save that kid because he ain't know what he was getting himself into. The whole prison culture. He came to prison, had some money, excuse me, and thought that shit meant something in prison. And he had a situation going on, and he automatically jumped into that prison culture, trying to flash his money and make friends. That's one thing you don't do in prison. You don't go around showing how much bread you got in your account. You don't go, especially the strangers. You don't go around talking about. It's just certain things you're not supposed to do. And you're not even doing it with people from the town. You're doing it with outsiders. So, what you talking about when the situation occurred, I sat back and thought long and hard about it. Like, damn, man, homie doing way too much, man. I said he not gonna bow out gracefully. I said, but homie gotta go, man. He gotta go because I see now he's gonna endanger everybody that's around him because he's not a thinker. He think money can talk. He think just because he got a couple of dollars, like that's gonna move the crowd. That shit don't always move the crowd. So that's when I said, you know what? I'm gonna get him out of here. And the craziest thing about that situation was that situation helped me become the man I am today.
So
Because
hold on, wait. So taking a nigga shit, right? And you implemented the fact of going in hard, taking his stuff, because basically stripping him.
yeah,
Took everything. You know what I'm saying? Taking everything. I mean, take everything he had. Um, you know what I mean? Hammer to him, all that. So basically, you was helping him out by forcibly taking everything from him.
I mean, I didn't have to go to that extreme. I ain't gonna lie, it was greed mixed in. I didn't have to go to that extreme, but I knew that if he didn't leave, the situation would have got more crazier. I knew that for a fact. Like I said, I didn't have to go to that extreme. It didn't have to be to that extreme,
Qu-
but it just got to the point where some things was said, some things was done, and that shit wasn't sitting well with me. And I kind of let my pride and ego get the best of me. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to do him like that because he was from the town. But like I said, I let my pride and ego get the best of me.
Question I always wanted to ask you, right? When we running down on him, and he said, "Hold on, y'all, let me pray." Why you let him pray? Why was you like, "Yo, just let him pray"?
Because that's the thing. I genuinely had love for the nigga.
So
I
we,
genuinely had love for him.
so he robbed this nigga with guns out,
And
and he said, "Yo, I want to pray," and he praying about the stuff we doing to him.
because
And
I mean, you think about that shit. You got motherfuckers you really don't know, got motherfucking ice picks at you, trying to rob you. Now your whole thing is, dude, I'm not trying to get stabbed up. I'm not trying to die in prison. Like you could hit a nigga the wrong way, he could die.
that's a fact.
I wasn't gonna take it to that extreme, but he don't know that. He's looking like, oh shit, my life is in danger. I could not go home. Man, take this shit. This shit don't mean nothing to me.
He said, "Let me pray." You
Yeah, I
said,
mean,
you said,
shit.
you said, "Let him pray." I'm sitting there
Yeah, like,
looking.
what the
Now
fuck?
that was funny.
Yeah.
Now that's funny to me is that it's a robbery occurring, and he talk about some, "Yo, let me pray," and you like, "Yo, let him pray, cousin." And I'm looking at this
Yeah,
shit like,
shit.
and he praying about us though, talking about the evil that we doing to him, to God.
Hey, listen, man.
That's it. And you like, let him pray.
Hey,
That was
man.
fun. That was funny to me. That's what I'm talking about. That
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even remember that
I
shit.
could never forget that because it was like, yo, you really stopped and had a serious face, like, yo, let him pray. And I'm like, I'm young, so I'm looking at you like, you my big cousin. I'm like, okay, let's. But I'm like, yo, like he praying during a robbery. We know what we done did in life and any other situation that you've been in. Have you ever in the streets let a dude pray when you was coming for what he had?
Oh, no, because the nigga never said it, though.
Oh, so if you'd asked you to let him pray, yeah,
Nah,
I'm
hell
gonna
no.
rob you. I'm gonna let you
Nah,
pray.
I'm not doing that shit in no streets. Hell no. But in that situation, like I said, I genuinely had love for the kid. And I knew that he was in over his head. I knew he
Okay.
was way in over his head. And he, by the grace of God, he was lucky he landed. Cause it could have been way worse for him.
Yeah, it could have.
Could have been way worse for him, man. But I tell you what, that whole incident made me the man I am today. Because when he did what he did, and they came on that cell block and searched the individual cell, I rolled me a big ass blunt and I smoked and I went to sleep. I went to sleep right with the ice pick. Right, I stashed it in my bunk, but I didn't stash it good. The police came like they was the feds to my cell.
That's a fact.
Had me, you remember, had me on the catwalk in my bare feet.
That's a fact.
Niggas was yelling and screaming, yo, why y'all got him out there like that? And I'm looking at niggas like, shut the fuck up, because I'm knowing if they find that fucking ice pick in my cell, that shit is like me having a AK-47, a 9mm. Nigga, I know they're gonna press outside charges on me.
It's over.
I'm going to county court and I'm getting a life bid. So I'm damn near looking at these niggas search my cell, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck is you doing with your life? You in here playing these ghetto games in prison. You did homie like that. These motherfuckers done ran down on you. They done went over the ice pick 4, 5 times.
And not just that. Remember, you had the razors in the pen.
And,
They didn't pull the pin top back.
had the razors in there. So I'm sitting up here like, oh my God. I literally started praying right there. When they was in front of my cell, I prayed.
So you made a nigga pray, and that made you pray.
Man, shit. I knew this. The only thing that was getting me out that situation was God. That's it. He got me out that situation because them motherfuckers literally went through my cell like a fine tooth comb. They searched everything. They left no stone unturned, every corner, every nook, every cranny. And for them not to find that, nigga, that was God. So,
that was God.
Right
Absolutely.
then and there, that's when I said, you know what, dude? You got to get focused. And you got to think about what direction you about to go in life, nigga. Because you can play these motherfucking ghetto games you want. You could go back home, still thinking you going to hustle, still thinking you going to be robbing and stealing and doing all that dumb shit. And your ass going to end right back up in here looking dumb as hell, talking about how you had the motherfucking STS caddy and how you had the big chain and how you was traveling, but you doing that shit on the mess hall line in some fucking state boots,
Core craft up.
looking dumb as hell. Trying to prove to another nigga how you was the man 10 years ago. Man, shit, I wish the fuck I would, man. Nah.
Absolutely right about that. No way
Yeah.
possible. Yo, man, I really appreciate you coming through. I appreciate you doing this interview. I'm gonna let you go ahead and sum it up. If there's anything that I didn't touch on, that I didn't ask, you feel like you would like to, you know what I mean, give to the people, you know what I mean, go ahead and then, you give out your shout outs and everything like that, or a message or however you want to end this.
I just want to say to all the young homies watching this, man, just be mindful of your actions, man. You know what I'm saying? This shit is crazy out here, man. And don't let certain influences, man, influence you to do the wrong thing. Because one bad judgment can cost you your life. And I had a couple bad judgments, but thank God that I'm here able to sit and do this. Because I could still be in the pen right now. Right now, what time is it? What time is it? 3:11. It's about to be the count. I could be on the count right now. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to sit here, go home to my family, man, see my son, hug my mom, kiss my girl, like that shit means something, man. To
Shout out to Amber.
to shout out to Amber, to just do the right thing, man. Because they not playing with us, man. They not playing with us, man. They trying to get us in them situations, man. They trying to make a motherfucker snitch. That's the main thing now. They trying to make you either snitch and cop out, man. And then motherfuckers are snitching and not even snitching to come home. You snitching to go to jail. So what sense do that make? Like when motherfuckers started snitching, they were snitching not to go to jail. Now motherfuckers is literally snitching to go to jail. So if you know that you're gonna end up telling on whoever, then you should be mindful that you shouldn't be doing the fucking crime. If you know, I mean, I know the allure, the cars, the women, the money, the trips. I know all of that shit is so fucking like glorious to the eyes, the sparkle, the glitter. But you got to think long range. Like, damn, how many motherfuckers can actually say that they did the right thing with this shit? Even if you did see a motherfucker out here hustling 20 years, you don't know that motherfucker background. You don't know if that motherfucker told on the plug in Texas, in Florida. You don't know that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So just be mindful, y'all, man, and realize, man, that this prison life, man, that shit ain't cracked up, man. Motherfuckers calling home, talking about, yo, son, we up here, man, we mobbing, and man, if a motherfucker doing that type of shit, my nigga, 9 times out of 10, they mine in the wrong place, and
Or they trying to follow a fashion.
they following.
It's a fact.
They following. Because I guarantee you, My nigga, that shit is not cracked up to what it seems. That shit is hurtful. It's hungry nights. It's cold nights. It's nights you gonna sit on your bunk and cry real tears, my nigga. Days, weeks, years. Missing your family, missing your kids. That shit is no joke. They violate us in there to the utmost violation. You can go in there thinking you a Billy Badass. Fuck y'all, I'm not listening to your rules. They will break you down. Guaranteed they will break you down. And they got that slow game. They're not going to try to break you down in a day or two. They're going to break you down all the way down, and you ain't going to even see it. And then you're going to come back to society all fucked up in the head and not even knowing that the years of abuse that you suffered is why you in the point you at now in life. So just be mindful of this shit out here, man. There's jobs out here, man. It ain't easy, but I mean, you just can't give up. The fight is real, man. I just want to say to all my brothers locked up, man, salute. I love y'all boys, man. Y'all gonna get home one day.
Man, thank you. I appreciate you coming through, family. You know, it's always love. Definitely my support. I mean, I'm feeling like a certain type of way. So this brother always give me right words, encouraging me to do the right thing and stay focused. Because, like you said, it's some hard times and pressure can be something that you wouldn't even believe. But to all y'all who tuned in, who watch, support, share, y'all already know what it is, community. Yo, I just appreciate y'all. I mean, listening to us, letting us tell our stories, and you know what I mean, vibing with us. And if it helps somebody, we do appreciate it. Yo, thank y'all, man.